All right, welcome back. Another Sunday edition educational video from Ronin Sport Performance. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about the 3-day split and primarily two ways that I've done it in the past that I like to do it, and some of the reasons why a 3-day perhaps versus a 4-day split. Specifically today we're going to be talking about a 3-day training split for power-based sports. So think football, basketball, volleyball, baseball, softball, tennis, along those lines. Okay. First things we're going to get into. Okay. Option number one is going to be a kind of a tier system slash, Brandelow's cube method setup as far as setting up your week. The second one, not as fancy of a name, just an undulating Olympic base. Okay. We are going to get into the whys of each, the hows, the whens, the whos of each, and even the pros and cons of both of these. So I hope you enjoy. Okay, looking at the tier slash cube system setup. You've got our 3 days here, day 1, day 2, day 3. Again, why we talk about a 3-day split working, in my opinion, best for a power-based team, sport-based, is because I like to do a 5-day split on the field, where Mondays are very acceleration-based, linear speed, some change direction throw in. Tuesdays are low energy system development, kind of a low CNS stress. Wednesday, the fastest, highest speeds of the week, again, linear speed with it. Thursday, another different type of energy system development. Friday, again, depending on the time of the year, could be a capacity, could be a speed, could be a light volume day. With those 5 days lined out throughout the week of a high-low system, the 3-day I've found to work best with the 5-day split. Kind of works along with that true high-low system. You're taking all the high central nervous system stress on Monday, 48 hours recovery, hit it Wednesday, 48 hours recovery, hit it Friday. So looking at this tier system slash cube system setup, TB1, LB1, UB1, total body, lower body, upper body. Whatever your program calls for, whatever you consider your primary total body movement, could be a hang clean, could be a power clean, could be a hex bar jump, whatever you decide for your program is your total body primary movement, that's TB1. Lower body, again, depending on the level of the guys and girls I've coached, it could be the front squat is primary, it could be the back squat is primary. Whatever your squat or lower body primary movement is, that's TB or low LB1. Upper body one, again, typically for most people, that's going to be your bench press. Those are your 3 core movements, right? Whatever your 3 primary are, they're the top. Then you get to here, lower body 2, upper body 2, total body 2. This is going to be your secondary movement of lower body, your secondary upper body, your secondary total body. For an example, let's use some of the programs I've used in the past. Power clean, it's back squat, bench press. Okay, you're coming right here. This might be now front squat, incline, or an overhead press. This is going to be a clean pull, a jump shrug, something that's not quite the power clean, but it's an accessory to it, probably the secondary movement of it. The red, kind of the tertiary, the third line. Okay, upper body 3, total body 3, lower body 3. This time upper body 3 is going to be, again, a different angle, a different movement direction. Could be a pull, could be whatever you want, but it's going to be your tertiary upper body movement. Total body 3, again, now getting you farthest away from using, let's just say, the power clean. For example, this might be as simple as a jump shrug or a weighted jump. Lower body 3 typically tends to be a unilateral day, okay, some single leg movement. Then throughout the rest of the 3-day split, you're throwing in some posterior chain hip dominant, posterior chain knee dominant, posterior chain hip dominant. Okay, next time you flip cards, you go posterior chain knee dominant twice, hips once. Upper body pull, upper body pull, upper body pull. Mix up the directions. If you push horizontally, I like to pull vertically. If you push vertically, I like to pull horizontally. Then again, you got some other accessory work. Not too worried about what's in black. It's about setting up these 9 movements right here, okay? One of the pros about this, okay, with the tier system, cube system, if I'm trying to capitalize max strength or some strength gains on these 3 lifts, on my clean, my squat, my bench, this is a good way to set it up. Because throughout that, we call it a perform week, all 3 of those are going to get the same stimulus, the same intensity throughout a given week. All right, well, we're going to a perform week or a max week. On Monday, we're hitting our clean for 90%. We're hitting our squat on Wednesday for 90%. We're hitting our upper body. It's our max. That's our 90% bench day. Okay? That's why it works well for this system. Okay, another pro is that it's very general. You're hitting 3 variations of a squat, 3 variations of a push, 3 variations of a total body explosive movement. It works really, really well teaching beginners some basic movement fundamentals, some basic foundational movements, because you're hitting a little bit of everything every single time. Some of the cons about it. Again, you're taking an entire week and you're keeping the same exact stress throughout the entire week. When I come and hit these guys on a 90% plus clean on Monday, you really hope you're coming back and doing it Wednesday and have some juice left, coming back Friday and having some juice left. So what you're going to get into is you take an entire week of training, used it towards testing. Sometimes, depending on your window of training, if you only got 6 to 8 weeks, do you really want to spend a whole week testing? Is it worth it to you at the end? What is your goals? Is it truly weight room numbers? Is it field performance? Whatever it may be. However, this works really, really well in certain populations. Really, really well for beginners, and also more towards some advanced guys who are able to do each of these 3 tiers of lifts at a really high level. Okay, now we're going to talk about the undulating style throughout the given week. How this sets up, we'll just go across the board first before we talk about intensities, but you are doing a total body explosive movement as your first lift all 3 days of the week. You're following that with a lower body exercise, followed by upper body, followed by the other accessory work you're going to do, posterior chain, posterior shoulder, your pulls, any other accessory work you want to get done. All right, but to stay with the top 3 tiers, as we want to call it. Monday, day 1 becomes our medium intensity, moderate intensity day. Okay, so that means we're talking somewhere in that 50 to 70% range. That's our primer day. It also happens to work really well because Mondays are primarily an acceleration-based day. It's power on both of those things. Wednesday, heaviest day of the week, fastest speeds on the field. All right, for a couple reasons. We are primed up from Monday. We've done some really good stuff. Our nervous system is ready to go and hit it hard, heavy, fast on Wednesdays. Friday, we bring things down. It's going to be light. Okay, you can either work for speed or you can work for volume, depending on your goals for that given time. But we take away some of the intensity there because now you've got 4 days of training, 2 lifts, maybe 2 field days of training come day 5 on Friday. All right, is that really a fatigue state? Are they really as fresh as we think we are? They're going into the weekend anyway. You can hammer them with volume or you do things light. Really just depends on the time of year, what your goals are. So if we look at our total body movements, we could use the same tier format. All right, this might be, again, if power clean is my total body primary movement, I'm going to save that for Wednesday. I'm going to save my back squat for Wednesday. I'm going to save my regular bench press for Wednesday. This is the day we're hitting all the primaries. Day 2 or day 1. This might be a hang clean, hang power clean, right? This secondary lower body. This may be if you're working on a lot of single leg, you might do single leg on both of these days. Otherwise, this might become a front squat, then your back squat, then your single leg, your heavy lunge, step up, Bulgarian, whatever it may be. Same with the upper body. You're going to mix up horizontal, vertical, incline, push, pulls. Okay? You're going to mix those up, like I said, throwing in the accessory work at the bottom. This works really, really well for people who have intermediate to advanced weight room ability. This works really, really well if you're running a similar 5-day field-based training where your Mondays are acceleration-based. Again, that's not the only thing, but its primary emphasis is Monday acceleration, Wednesday max speed, Friday some sort of capacity work. Okay? This works really well with that format. It works really, really well with the nervous system demands of the week. And if you're working with a population of athlete who's anywhere between 18 and 25 years old, they're probably not as fresh as we think they are on Mondays. I know my weekends in college were a little bit different. I was not incredibly fresh on Mondays. So we used Monday as a primer. Bring the intensity down a little bit. You have to understand that, yeah, they probably didn't do all the things we preach about all week on the weekend. They're staying up late, doing other fun things. So we hit them with the primer. Body's primed up to take on heavy stress, heavy load, high speeds on Wednesdays. Take advantage of that. The hormones, the nervous system, the fatigue levels where they're at, hammer that, let the body do what it has to do on Friday depending on the capacity work. We talked about the pros, a little bit of the cons of this type of system. Okay, one of the things that's gonna possibly suffer is going to be the upper body, especially if that's incredibly important to you. You may want to move your bench day up sometime. You may want to get your pulls moved up the chain. All right, I've always thought that the lower body, the legs feed the wolf, you want to get that in as well. So if bench press becomes a major priority, if you have to get upper body strength up, if that's a big thing, move it up the ladder. With this system, this format, with it being the third lift, there's going to be fatigue, there's going to be some stress that's already induced throughout that day. May not get the best result from it. So that's one of the cons about it. Another con is that this is not for every single level lifter. Okay, you have to be proficient in many of your Olympic lifts to have some variety. Right, your power clean and your high is 70, 80, 85%. Okay, you better be really good at a different type of clean variation. Hang clean, hang power clean. This day might be your snatch day. It's the light, fast day. Ideally, that's a barbell snatch, single arm snatch, whatever it's going to be. Or if you only have one variation of clean, you could still go medium, heavy, light, but you're not having that variety as much. So an advanced or intermediate lifter who's got to have some single leg ability on their squats, some different multi-planar stuff with their squats. Same thing with the bench press, the pushes, the pulls. Having some variety helps spread this load out throughout the course of a 3, 6, 9, 12, or 15-week program. Lastly, to put this all back together, again, we're talking a 3-day split for power-based sports. All right, I want to mention that because, again, if strength, if muscular size was the goal, there's a lot of benefits to a 4-day split, okay? With the way that I will program and have programmed field-based training, I like to do the 5-day, like I mentioned, high-low emphasis, okay? I have found it to be a little bit harder to do a 4-day split and match up with the nervous system demands of the Monday, Wednesday, Friday that we're doing on a 5-day split. Nothing wrong with a 4-day, absolutely nothing wrong with it. Again, if goal is size, strength, muscle growth, whatever it may be, 4-day is going to be a great example. For what I've talked about here with the performance measures we want to evaluate, the 3-day, in my opinion, is the way to go. Again, I've used 4 days, no problem. I've used 5 days, no problem. But what's going to suffer when you start pushing 4 or 5 days of straight weight room work to your athlete who's not competing in a weightlifting sport? If you've got weightlifters, powerlifters, lift. If you've got athletes who are going to play a sport, a team-based sport, a power-based sport, they need to be able to do their sport at a high level. Need to be able to do the field, court, whatever it be, based things for that sport. This is why I do the 3-day. Any questions, any programming tips, anything you want to know, hit me up anytime. Let's talk more about it. If you have questions about the 3-day variations, if you want to talk about the 4-day, why you think it may work with that system, great. Let's talk about it. Send me a message, whatever you got to do. Have a great day.